You will have counted the number of males, females, and absent persons for each household and completed the form front panel at the end of each day's collection. You should sort your summarized forms into 2 separate stacks in ascending D-number order for each small area. One stack for reconciliation forms and the other stack for all other forms, that is, household, individual, listing, and H forms. Form H's are used as a substitute for a completed household or individual forms, when a household or member of a household insists on sending their completed forms directly to the regional office for confidentiality reasons. You should therefore insert Form H's received from your field supervisor in the small area stack as you would a completed household or individual form. Form H's are an important part of summarization. Your field supervisor will replace any Form H's with the appropriate census forms before the boxes are forwarded to the CSO. A Form B should be completed for each small area stack containing household, individual, listing forms, and H forms. A Form BR should be completed for each small area stack of reconciliation forms. Once Forms B and BR are completed, you can use this information to fill in Form C. Form C records the total occupied households, males, females, persons, and dwelling types within each small area in your EA. These figures are taken from the respective totals on Forms B and BR. To complete Form B, you should complete the county code, EA code, and small area code of the stack on the form. For each D number entered on the form, enter 1 in the number of households column. Transfer the D number, males, females, and total present persons from the front of each household or listing form for each household or CE in the small area. If there are more than 25 households or CEs in the small area, sum each of the 4 columns on the left side of the Form B and carry forward the totals to the first row on the right side of the Form B. Continue to enter details for the next 25 households or CEs on the right side. If there are more than 50 households or CEs in the small area, sum each of the 4 columns on the right side and carry forward the totals to the left side of page 2. If there are more than 120 households or CEs in the small area, you will need to carry forward the totals to a new Form B. Don't forget to complete the geography coding if you need to begin a new Form B. When you have entered the details for all forms in your small area stack, you should sum the 4 columns where you made your final entries, as these will be transferred to the column numbers indicated on Form C. When you are satisfied that your Form Bs are complete and correct for each small area, you should sign and date each Form B. To complete Form BR, you should complete the county code, EA code, and small area code of the reconciliation stack on the form. Go through each reconciliation form in the stack and write the D number from the form into the appropriate section on the form. For any reconciliation form completed for occupied dwellings, you must write in the D number, as well as the number of males, females, and total persons in the household. If there are not enough spaces in a section to transfer the D numbers, you should follow on to a new Form BR, remembering to complete the county, EA, and small area code. When you have accounted for all the reconciliation forms in the small area, you should total the sections by counting the number of D numbers. For the occupied dwellings section, you should total the number of D numbers and write that in the total number of dwellings box at the bottom of the section. You should then add the number of males and write the total in the males column. You should do the same with the females and persons in household. In the unlikely event that you need more than one Form BR for a small area, you should make sure, when you are totaling the sections, that you include the information from each Form BR completed. Once you have completed the Form BR for each small area and you are satisfied each is correct, you should sign and date each form. To complete Form C, you should transcribe the total households, males, females, and persons present from the last Form B for each small area into the corresponding columns for that small area on the Form C. Check for any significant differences between the total numbers of households and persons between 2011 and 2016 for each small area. If there are large differences, write a brief explanation in column 9. Tot up columns 5 to 8 to produce an enumeration area total for each column. For occupied dwellings where a completed census form was not received, transcribe males, females, and persons within each small area from Form BR into the corresponding columns for that small area on the Form C. Tot up columns 10 to 13 to produce an enumeration area total for each column. Transcribe the total number of dwellings for each of the 7 unoccupied categories from Form BR into the corresponding columns for the small area on the Form C. Tot up columns 14 to 20 to produce an enumeration area total for each column. If you have any doubts that your summarization is correct, contact your field supervisor. These forms are provided with an envelope marked Forms B, BR, and C, which is pre-addressed to the CSO. This envelope should be used to return your completed Form Bs, Form BRs, and Form C directly to the CSO at the end of the summarization.